Hello, greetings, and salutations, one and all. Welcome to another fantastical week of Olympus Rises. We took last week off because one of our players had an emergency July 4th extravaganza to attend. So this will be our first week back from the exciting conclusion of our previous episode. I know, it's weird. Things happen in order. It's very strange. Strange concept. Glad you all could be here. Hope you all have had a wonderful couple of weeks. We're going to go ahead and just get right into it because everybody's here and we're all ready to go. Also, I realize... look, there we go. Gotta put that up there, don't we? Let's go ahead and jump into Discord and see what everybody's been doing.
Yay, we did it!
What'd you do?
Well, I plugged in my headphones in a different way. Like, I put them in the USB in the back, and then it was like, hey, do you want to use this as your microphone too? And apparently...
Yeah.
Whatever, it's fine. I figured.
Okay, good.
Good job.
We did it. It's fine.
Meg wins.
Right.
Wasn't it literally working like 2 days ago?
Yeah, but I fixed it like 2 seconds. Well, I changed it like right before I started to try to talk to people, which clearly was a bad idea. But I fixed it. It's cool. It's fine.
Hello, everyone. Glad you all could be
Hello.
here.
What's up?
It's good to hear from you again. For those two of you that I don't hear from at other points during the week.
Yes.
Hope you've all had a wonderful Brexit 1776. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Devin.
Yeah.
Hello. Tell us about your holiday / the rest of the weeks.
So I had some like last minute 4th of July plans come up that I couldn't ignore because family, and that's stupid. But no, it was good though. I set off 288 bottle rockets in about 2 hours.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and then plus 20 Roman candles. This is the better part though. 3,000 firecrackers. That was fun.
Huh. That is considerable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a lot.
Like in what span of time?
Probably all in about 4 hours. It was nonstop. Light toss, light toss, light toss.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was good. So that was my wonderful 4th of July. And then everything else is just pretty much trying to get my new work stuff started because that's going slower than anticipated. But next weekend I should be in my own apartment, so hooray!
Yay! Did you find a place down closer where you're working?
Yeah, it's about 20 minutes away. So
That's
I
nice.
won't be a voluntarily homeless person. So that's good.
Remind me what new work is. If you're
It's
at liberty to say.
same stuff. It's just that my client right now is being... Well, it's not even my client. It's the client of my client won't give them control of the building, so my client can't bring in security because they don't have control of the building. So, yeah.
It's kind of one of those things that's out of your hands and you just have to wait.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm still kind of showing up to work, but the other people that are supposed to be working can't come in yet. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Well, I hope that works itself out, certainly.
Yeah, I think the beginning of next month is when everything's supposed to start full scale. So,
Fantastic.
Yay.
yay. But that's everything going on with me.
Awesome. Will, hi, hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good evening.
Morning. So, what have you been
I've
doing,
been
sir?
awake all day, thank you very much.
Oh, okay. How has your week been, sir? Tell us all about it.
This week has been rather chill. Not much has actually happened, but
So the palace has been quiet.
it has, yeah, surprisingly. But starting next week, I do start my archery classes.
Oh, that's right. I remember now.
What?
Oh, that's right. Megan didn't hear that on Friday.
Yeah, I haven't heard this either.
Missed this story. What?
Yeah, so
I
was
legit
told to
never know
join
when you're
on
serious or
Friday.
not.
No, legit. I have some archery classes.
Are you going to become Katniss Everdeen?
No,
that
these
requires
are
more
for
than
the-
archery classes, by the way.
These are for the hunts for me to become a real man.
Right.
You know.
Right. It's
Yeah.
your coming of age ceremony.
Yeah.
Requires you
I'll
to.
be sent into the forest with nothing but a bow, and I have to bring back my hunt, obviously.
Yeah.
Don't you usually get like a pack of dogs for that too?
Actually,
that's-
did you know they still fox in Britain?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where are there even green spaces big enough to like?
Not Britain.
We have a lot of green things.
We're not talking about cars and buildings, okay?
No, like we may be a
Educate
small
me, educate
country,
me.
but we do like the Lake District, which is like however many square miles. It's like pretty huge kind of national park places that is just
Lovely.
things.
Can you hunt in a national park?
During foxing season, yes.
Because I'm fairly certain
Pesky
that's frowned
foxes.
upon.
I actually remember back whenever like the foxing season started, there was such an uproar on Twitter because of all of the PETA people were like, end all foxing, and then people were like, it's tradition, and then they're like, but why do you have to do it? Why can't you just do other things?
Yeah, no, fox hunting is really only kind of snobby, like top tier class people that are...
You're a prince.
It's like polo,
Question
but
mark.
you kill foxes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
and instead of hitting a ball around, you chase dogs that are chasing foxes, and then you kill them.
I feel that you're painting a very bad image of England.
Well, I don't think I have to do that for England. I think they got it handled on their
I
own.
mean, so for perspective, one, there are actually quite a few parks in the U.S. where hunting is more than allowed. In Wisconsin, there are definitely times of year where you cannot go hiking without fear of getting your head blown off, with or without big bright orange clothing loudly announcing that you're not in fact a white-tailed deer. So
Yeah, that's the
Well-
same, and
Even
we got
then, humans
Ocala
still
National
get-
Forest down here.
Well,
You can go hunting.
don't you
there.
know, the deer have actually evolved, Matt, and they actually wear orange vests and little orange hats now, so they can blend in with their surroundings.
well, that's how evolution works, so I'm not surprised that the ones that survived were able to develop those traits.
Totally. Any hoozle. Anything else, Will?
No. It's been fairly warm, but as I say, English warm.
Right, English one. It's been like in the what? In the 60s, 70s?
High 70s. So
For us,
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
okay. Yeah.
High 70s in American units,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
but once again, that's without any air conditioning.
Right.
So
Oh,
See-
good lord! Wow.
So
Hmm.
the best
That's a trigger.
the best part is we've actually trained Will so well now that he can do conversions in his head.
I know, right?
We're slowly converting him, guys. It's working. It's happening.
See
Yay!
the lengths I go to for you.
Yep. Precisely. Fantastic. Megan, hi, hello.
Hi, hello.
How have you been? What's been going on with you? Tell us all about it.
Not a whole lot. Spent a week in Maine, which was fun. Ate some lobster.
It really felt like it was more than a week, though. It felt like it was like.
literally just 1 week, 7 days.
So what happened with like all of the other 10 or so days that you were ignoring all of it?
I don't know where these numbers are coming from exactly.
My brain.
Sure. Okay.
that doesn't say much.
No. I don't know. Been hanging with my friends. What did I? Oh,
We
my
are your
God.
friends. What are you
I
talking
know
about?
you are my friends. That's why I'm talking to you now. But so one thing I have to say is that it's a very sad day because I decided that I will not play Darkest Dungeon ever again after what occurred last week.
Ooh. Why is that?
I need the deets on that.
A fun feature of the hardest difficulty that they just came out with for Darkest Dungeon, which I've been playing my new campaign on, is that you have a maximum number of gravestones in your graveyard. And when you reach that maximum number, you literally just lose. Your entire game.
Oh, that's fucking stupid.
It also deletes the save file, so like you can't even
so,
like go
you
back.
Literally cannot restart it. I was doing pretty well. I was on the I won't spoil. I was on the last of the courtyard. I'll just put that at that. After literally playing that last one for like 2.5 hours, just that one dungeon over and over and over to try to get a win on it, I was like 2 hits away from killing it, and death blow on my last 2 guys, and game over.
Right.
Completely deleted my file.
Because that's the other thing it does. It doesn't like wait till you get back to town.
Oh no!
If you lose them,
they both died.
Right. Yeah.
My graveyard was max, and the game said game over.
Yeah.
You've shed too much blood or something ridiculous, and then my entire game that I've been working on since the expansion came out is gone.
Yep.
And I was rather upset.
Why on earth would they not make that an option in addition to?
Well,
like why would you not have the hardest difficulty, but then also like an Iron Man mode or something?
So that's the trick, Matt. The hardest difficulty is no harder than the middle difficulty, but it adds those things.
Okay, is that the only feature?
No,
because that seems like a pretty big.
No, you also have a weak limit. You also have a weak limit on that difficulty as well. If you take over a certain amount of weeks, it's just game over. Never.
And also you get a lot more negative events that occur and such. Random things pop up more frequently in dungeons. Like, you know how sometimes you'll get, like, I can't remember what he's called right now.
The collector.
But you'll get, like the collector and certain things like that pop up at random, but that happens a lot more often, and a few things like that. But like generally it's not any harder, but like I figured for like, after playing so many hours of it, I'd try. God, I was so damn close. It made me so sad. But anyway. Yep. So that's the thing.
Well, you fought the good fight. That's what matters, right?
In your heart, you won.
You know what? I basically won, okay? It was like literally one more hit. Freaking dead. It's fine. It's over it, can't you tell? I'm just done. Just done.
Yeah, I play games for fun, not to get pissed at.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it was fun up until the last 30 seconds.
Devin, you also play Rocket League, so I find that to be a contradictory statement.
Jordan, I was just waiting for a chance to bring that up. Like,
I find this to be a contradictory statement, sir. But anyway, that's
also,
my
don't show
mum
your
used to
password on
say.
stream, Jordan. Beach tips.
What? My password to what? Oh. Apologies.
Just like,
Apologies. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let me fix that real quick.
May not be something you'd want to do. There you go.
Ta-da.
Yeah, it's just that you have to redo the little thing. Anyway, we're good. I fixed it. Matt, hi, hello.
What's up?
How have you been, sir, for the past 2 weeks? Tell us all about it. What's been going on?
Right. It has been 2 weeks, hasn't it?
It has.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time, huh?
I mean, it seems like it, if you're not locked in a time bubble.
I think I might be.
Okay, good.
Watched a lot of GDQ.
Yes.
It seemed a little off this year, but they sure did raise a lot of money. There were some really good runs.
I enjoyed the absolute shit out of that Jedi Outcast 2 run.
Yeah,
That
was
was
pretty good.
That was one of my favorite runs that I watched.
The
whole time.
guy was kind of wacky, but he did have some good commentary during it.
Yeah.
Like I think he got a lot of. He was clearly nervous, and I don't think I've seen him before. And I think he got a lot of shit from chat. Not that anyone doesn't, because Twitch chat is a garbage fire.
Especially
But,
especially GDQ Twitch chat. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
There's 100,000 people in that channel. It's going to be crazy.
For some of the games, I think max viewership was over 200,000
Yeah,
people.
I saw it at 200,000.
I believe it.
Yeah, there. I was looking at a chart for the most watched ones. Actually, that's on my way to another point. I think they have to retire Super Metroid.
Yeah.
Because like one for 40 minutes, you know, it's not a race if for 2/3 of that segment it's only one runner because the other two died at the 20-minute marker prior. So that was awkward.
Feels so bad and awkward when that occurs in
Yeah,
any race where like two guys just go out immediately and you're like, oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
there was so much that could have been done there to try and salvage it. Like the other two guys just sat there in silence. I'm not even sure if they were mic'd up or not, but they just sat there for 40 minutes, the other two runners, and it was like, okay, that incentive is really, for some reason, even though it doesn't have anything to do directly, you know, the kill save incentive doesn't have anything directly to do with it being a race. Something about it just doesn't even feel fun anymore, even though it's a little played out to begin with, but whatever. It's like, okay, well, for some reason, if it's not in the context of a race, it seems like it's not even important anymore. I don't know. I think they should have, when the second guy died, they could have saved it, and it could have been way more fun if they just all decided, hey, why don't we reset and try again so it's fun, rather than going, 40 minutes and completely missing the point that it was supposed to be a race.
Right.
I don't know. There's a couple of things that were just sort of off this year.
I think they did that to save did you see the Mega Man race? I think it was one of the Mega Man races where like 3 of the guys screwed up really bad in the first 10 minutes, and then there was just one guy, he's like, you know what, and he just like did the same thing that those guys did, and they all just restarted. So that makes total sense.
They have so much time built in for flex. 20 minutes, for Christ's sake. There's like hours of setup for the fucking Tetris block. I fell asleep waiting for it. And like that was one of the things I was most looking forward to, because that's always really cool. Like, you can't tell me that they can't spare 15 minutes to restart one of the biggest donation incentives of the entire week. Like that, it was a little bit disappointing. The Mario relay race was awesome though. That was pretty cool.
I got to watch the Mega Man X, I think it was just X,
which is the best Mega Man game.
It was the race one though, and it was like close. Yeah. One of the coolest things about that run was usually like me not being like a super hardcore speedrunner or a speedrun watcher. Whenever I see somebody ahead in a speedrun, I'm like, oh well, they're gonna win, right? Like the times are so close in these types of games that that person's just automatically gonna win. But in that race between those two guys, it was back and forth. Like this guy would be slightly ahead, and then this guy would be slightly ahead, and then this guy would be slightly ahead, and like they would go back and forth. And then like there was actually like a comeback from like maybe 30 seconds behind. The dude made up all of the time and ended up winning, and it was super cool.
Yeah.
And that's something that I had never seen before, kind of in a speed running race.
That's one of those games where like there are so many little second to second optimizations that you really can make up like minutes during the course of a run that's not even that long if you fall behind. Like if somebody isn't playing super optimally, it can definitely be that kind of a race.
Yeah. The one I didn't see that I kind of wanted to, but I was probably doing something else.
Oh, they're all up now. It's probably
was,
more entertaining to watch them now.
Well, Breath of the Wild. Did you catch Breath of the Wild?
I did. That was actually pretty cool.
Did he just run to Ganon like at the very beginning of the game and kill him? Like, is that basically what happened?
So I caught maybe the last half of it.
Well, first of all, how long was the run?
It was a 45-minute run.
Damn.
Jesus.
So yeah, for one, like the routing that I did get to see was really interesting, and then it was pretty cool because I don't think there were any, like, at least as far as I saw, there weren't any enormous exploits for it. Like,
it was mostly just being good, right? Like,
yeah, it's like, well, you beat the game on 3 hearts with no armor,
right?
And you figured out a way to do it. Like, at
yeah,
one point,
and you're using like the fucking regular school Boko clubs because you don't have any other weapons. Yeah.
At one point, one of the funnier portions of the run was where he like had to distract a group of enemies with a bomb, and then quickly cook a bunch of food at a cauldron that was nearby them. Like, didn't have to kill them. Just needed a way to access a means of cooking food to continue the run. It's part of the routing. So that was kind of entertaining. Like,
that's cool as shit. I like that a lot. It's not an exploit, it's just a smart way to play the game.
Yeah, it's not like...
It takes a lot of thought to come up with that versus just like, oh, I found this glitch. Isn't that cool?
It's a lot more... It's a lot more entertaining than like, yeah, we found a way to get out of bounds and go straight to the boss.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. That's cool. But, I think that is one, especially if it's only 45 minutes. That's one I'll definitely go back and rewatch. It was something I was really looking forward to, and I kind of want to go back and rewatch a Jedi. I don't know why it was so impressive to me.
Spoke to you.
Yeah, but like I feel like there was a lot of the like reload. He had to reload a fuckload of times.
Like quick loads or something.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that made me think that if someone were really fucking good at this game, like never had to reload, God, I could imagine like
that'd be a really impressive run.
It made me want to go see if there's like a world record run up somewhere where he doesn't have to load a single time, because the loads were instantaneous when he was doing them, but
you still lose time by...
You lose the time
to do that.
Where you died, between where you saved and where you died, every single time, right? Like, that 1 to maybe 5 seconds. But it was really impressive. I enjoyed that one a lot. But yeah, I think that's GDQ as it stands. And speaking of not having the ability to reload from your previous saves before bad things happen.
We don't need that. It's fine. We live with our consequences.
Last time on Olympus...
Dun 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 dun.
Devin was waiting the whole time to do that.
I sure was.
Wait for
it. Hey, are we gonna do goals real quick?
We are gonna
do after the recap.
Let me do the recap and then we'll talk about goals. So you guys decided that it was going to be a wiser decision to go to Thune first to drop off the box for Sarah, in addition to acquire a specific device that Oscar's been looking for a while.
Oh yeah.
Meet a strange old man, and then also meet Gogo's father briefly, I'll bet. And then there was some interesting conversation. We did a lot of, I think, most of last session from my memory, and also watching a couple of clips from the VOD today. It was a lot of world building. Like, basically, I just talked a lot about Thune and how it works.
It was an expository session.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that what it showed me is I have such a nasally voice that Google can't discern between the word Thune with a TH and the word soon with an S. Just saying. In case anyone was curious. That's how nasally my voice is.
Soon.tm.
Yeah. So there's that. I think that's really all that I think matters in the final couple of hours in the previous session was the interaction with Gogo's father, and more specifically with Chan. There was a moment where Felix, being the entity that he is, which he also has a picture now in case you guys didn't catch that. Felix Valentine has a picture.
I did.
I did not see that.
Because I missed nothing.
Yeah, no, Matt is like a stalker. Felix Valentine has a picture now. As overbearing as the individual is, made like a quick movement towards the predator that Chan now is. And the only one to really notice was Dr. Fisher, and it will be interesting to see if how far Dr. Fisher takes this experiment clause of
be
of
fair,
his job.
there are only select people even present for this.
True.
Which might also be important.
True. Indeed. And that was kind of the and if you'll remember as well, Chan has Stanley kind of swaddled like in a bandolier around his chest. He has Stanley swaddled inside, and it seems like he is being protective of that bundle of joy. Thank you, Devin. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I laughed, but I'm on push to talk.
Oh,
so.
okay. Good.
You did get a chuckle out of me.
Good. Okay. Good. I think that is probably the most important thing. The other cool thing is you didn't get paid for Sarah's mission because it was payment to do it.
Yeah. The payment was getting my rifle on planet, so
Yeah.
that way everyone doesn't die.
Right, so that they don't get sniped. Because that would have 100% happened. So you don't get paid for it, but there were some interesting things here that I think, as we go back to Thune, it's, a gambler's, smuggler's kind of hideout. Not necessarily like a piratey world per se, but it certainly attracts a more deviant sort of person than a lot of the other worlds. They live in these great big bubble cities because all of the atmosphere is all very toxic outside of these great big bubble cities. But all that does for Thune is leaves more room for pod racing, so they're okay with it.
Heck yeah.
The GBBC, yeah, exactly.
Great big bubble city.
Great big bubble city, yeah, absolutely. So you all are in the largest of these cities, which I've named Domonov. D-O-M. Let me just type it. Domonov. Domonov is the name of this city that you guys are currently in. It's the largest. It's technically the capital of the planet. Although there are only probably about 7 or 8 other bubble cities, with maybe some rural supplementary buildings that are all completely enclosed. How we would assume that a Mars colony would exist in nowadays, where it's these individual capsules and you have to suit up to go in between the two of them and all that other fun stuff. One of the more interesting things that I mentioned about Thune is it is a toxic atmosphere and it's immiscible to humans, but it doesn't mean that nothing is growing or living on it. There is some fauna and flora that exist on Thune, albeit very little, but it does exist. It's just unusable by human means because everything's so pervased by the toxicity of the atmosphere. So there you go. So let's talk about goals. Real quickly, does anyone have any goals that they've completed?
Yes.
Okay, Fortune. Let's see. Let's look at your goals here. So Fortune, character, Fortune. All right. So what goals have you completed, sir? It was the drop off. Yeah.
Successfully deliver Sarah stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Which we did find out was this weird, strangely mechanically locked box that this eccentric old man had taken off of you as kind of like a puzzle.
Yeah.
Very interesting sort for sure. And you've had that for a couple of sessions now, and I think that is
both sessions.
Yeah, I think that's a while it's not particularly hard, you've had it for 4 sessions, so you can have 150 experience for that.
You did the thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, that second one is going to take... It's probably going to require... I'll just let you know right now, that second one is probably going to require either getting it removed or dealing with all of the people chasing you.
Oh, the first option there is definitely what I'm going for.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like kill Claris. That's not fun.
Yeah.
Nobody will take the contract if there's no one to take the contract.
Precisely.
It's what we call the nuclear option.
I will be your only operative. How about that?
Yeah, which does bring us to something that I actually missed in the recap, and I apologize, Oscar. Was the discovery of this data that you were given, right? That was the other like really big event that occurred.
Oscar speaks a dead language now.
Yeah, it was discovered that you at least can comprehend it.
Comprehend, if not, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe you put 2 and 2 together and realized that one time that Oha was like, "What the hell are you saying?" Maybe you were speaking it at that time. Who knows? That would be for further study, I think.
Mm-hmm. It's something he is going to develop.
Yeah.
In due time.
Fantastic. So who else? Who else has?
I had a minor one.
Let's look here.
One of them was to determine if Pip was up to anything unsavory, and I think I'm satisfied with what Oha said.
Yeah, I think that
in that conversation, that it doesn't seem like he had any malintent, but it might be worth looking into in the future.
Yeah, I think that the intention there, what I was attempting to convey, I should say, is that he had no ill will towards you or like your crew members, but there was like a tainted aura around him. Like he has had dealings with ill things in the past, right?
Yeah.
Like that was kind of the inflection there.
So what you're saying is he belonged in our crew.
More or less.
Probably, yeah. He probably fit right the hell in, to be honest. I don't think Gogo would think so, but...
The concern was whether or not he had put a time bomb in Oscar's brain.
Right.
I think I'm satisfied that he didn't.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you can also receive... Actually, you can receive 175 for that one. There was a little bit of a bonus on there, I think, because it required you interacting, and actually, I believe it required a couple rolls to get that info out of Oha, so...
Yeah. Did a little bit of legwork, but not much.
Yeah, not much.
That's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Cool. And it looks like those other 2 are still going to be on.
Oh yeah, those are the other 2 are definitely long haul.
Those are the big ones.
Those are Oscar's private business.
Yeah. Oh, hey. Goodbye, stream. We'll see you in a minute. Gogo and Dr. Fisher, what about you guys? Gogo, you've got half of number 3.
I've got half of 2, so possibly by the end.
Also
I will
half
have
of 2,
the
yes.
other,
Hopefully
the second parts of each of those.
Yeah. That first one is just, man, that's gonna be hard.
Yeah, you know, it's okay. It's keeping with my character currently. So.
What about you, Dr. Fisher?
Well, one has already been going on for 19 sessions.
Well, listen, you are the one who decided to focus all of your research in other things.
That's true. But... so the first one is still probably going to take double that time.
Mm-hmm.
The second one, that's probably also going to take about as much time.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time to do that one, I think.
And the third one,
you've got half of that one.
We've been very slow at going through these planets. So.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it has been a pretty slow past couple of sessions.
Don't worry, we can change that.
Well, I don't know if we want to.
Don't worry, Jordan's been practicing noises.
It's true. Just to be fair,
cats.
All 3 of my cats were freaking out. So
just super offended.
It was
and that's
like
why you should have a dog instead of
it
cat.
was like I turned on the vacuum cleaner and put it up to their faces.
Well, are you making vacuum cleaner noises in their faces?
So where were we? No, not specifically vacuum cleaner. So that's everybody's goals. Awesome, fantastic, well done, well played.
I'm gonna update my next one sometime.
Yeah.
Mid-session
You
once I
guys
decide
know
on it, but-
mid-session, literally if something comes up within the session, like, I want to complete this, you can totally just throw that one in there for some quick, easy XP. So we see the scene of Fortune and Oscar. You guys have returned back to the ship. Oscar, you're hugging your new toy close to your chest.
Oh yeah, he needs to figure everything he can about that.
Yeah, and as I described it, it's basically like a large metal jack-in-the-box kind of thing. It's got like a hand crank on the side. It's probably, about, I don't know, maybe 1.5 feet cube, perhaps. It is dense and heavy. You can definitely tell that just by holding it, but not unwieldy so. You could definitely like put it in the bottom of a bag and, carry it around on your back if you needed to.
We've already decided he's welding it to the back of his power armor.
Yeah, that is another thing that you could do. You could just, that'd be a little hard since your power armor comes,
it wouldn't
Transformer
fold up as
style.
nicely,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
could see that becoming a problem.
Yeah, possibly. And we all know how dangerous that armor can be if it has any outside influence on it.
If someone just happens to turn the frigging gravity off in the ship without any
That was calculated, okay?
I don't think any part of that entire combat was calculated in
How
the slightest.
No,
Sleep.
no, it's not.
I don't think
Oscar
any
had
of it.
plans, but it got out of hand real quick.
real fast. And
The only part that was calculated was right at the beginning when I told Go-Go to turn off the lights. That's it.
But
basically,
It all just went downhill from there.
Chan's fine. We can move on.
Yeah.
I'm going to insert GM air
Chan's
quotes
fine.
into the word fine.
Chan is fine.
I'm speaking from character. Chan is fine.
Yeah, totally. So the two of you have arrived back at the ship. I don't think you've heard from any of your crewmates yet. Would you send a message like, hey, like a group message like, hey, delivery completed, right? I assume.
Probably not a message, just when I see him. Well, maybe, because that would mean it's time to leave. So
Right. That's like the thing. Like they were going out to run errands, and you guys were in charge of getting the job done, and then booking it out of here.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd probably let him know. Hey, job's done. We can leave when you're ready.
Okay. Oscar, do you just immediately start playing with your new toy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like a child
Okay.
with a new
sitting
action figure.
sitting cross-legged on the floor, like trying to figure out how it works. Okay, cool.
Not even like cross-legged. He just like went to the cafeteria and laid down on the floor with it and was like fiddling with.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we see Insect Man splayed out on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Like his face is all up in it, and he's trying to like see into whatever spaces are there. And
Yeah. Cool. Not unlike a cat with a new toy, where they just go and they like lie on their back
like
and
that.
Yeah, cool. So I think that we see the message through cyberspace, right? It's sending through cyberspace, and it gets over, and all of the compads ring. Chan's and Go-Go's and Dr. Fisher's. And Dr. Fisher was this tense moment where you see Chan, you see his pupils dilate, his lip curls slightly. You can see the muscles in his arms begin to tense. And he kind of like shifts his weight onto his back leg in a defensive posture. What do you do in this split-second interaction that you have? Because remember, also Felix is like extending his hand to like look at Stanley.
Yeah, I think I'd probably say, whoa, stop. It's like directed at Felix.
Okay, so you like step in front of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you kind of like step in front of the two, I think Felix goes, "Oh, yeah, let's see it." That's the wrong accent. Hold, please.
Did he turn Australian?
He was going Scottish there for a second.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounded pretty Scottish.
Oh my God, you just made me choke on my tea.
I apologize. The accent wasn't one of the things that I practiced. He goes, "Oh, what are you doing? I just want to see the little bundle of joy."
Yes, they can be a bit shy. So.
Oh, sleeping.
Don't.
Okay, I will keep my voice down lower. You hear that, man? Keep voice down lower, all of you in the bar. Baby is sleeping.
Sure, that works, yes.
Oh, goodness, daughter, I'm so glad you're here. I told these fine men here, these fine men, that I was calling for only the best crew to take care of the next job, and man, it just so happens that you have arrived just in time. I hope you've packed your things.
Blank stare. And she's just like, no, Felix, that's not why I'm here.
He's like, oh, it's no need to be so formal. It's no so informal. It's fine. Listen, these men here, they have job for us. I told them what we would take it. I am far too busy right now, but as you know, it seems like you have some strong men here to help you out.
There is no we. I don't know who this we is that you're talking about. Could we talk somewhere else? Do you mind? She kind of like gestured at all of the people sitting here.
Yeah, and I think Felix kind of like looks around. And he goes, my apologies, Mr. Tetsudo. It's fine. I will speak with my daughter. We'll get things arranged. I'll explain the details, and then we'll be back with you in one moment. Please, feel free. Go to the bar, have some drinks. They're all on the house.
Gogo's already standing up and kind of like waiting, tapping her foot, waiting for him to lead her somewhere else.
Somewhere Fortune's ears are burning and he's wondering why he didn't go.
Yeah. Drinks in bar.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think smiling, he brings you back probably into like the back office.
Yeah, I think really quick though, before she goes, I think Gogo leans down to Dr. Fisher and she says, "Watch him," and like points at Chan. She's like, "Okay, all right." She gets up to leave.
Yeah. So he takes you into like the typical like office area, and it's probably got like kind of a, just like a two four-legged chairs sitting on one side of the desk. It's kind of piled up with papers. There's a very old like console there, like holoscreen console that's kind of flickering a little bit. There's probably some papers like in the middle of it that when Felix gets around to the other side, he kind of like moves them out of the way. And as the door kind of closes behind you, and it does that thing that like old like movies from the 40s and 50s where like the blinds slide shut as the door closes. And yeah, he his composure kind of changes after you're alone. It kind of becomes perhaps a little bit more serious, but I don't think any like friendlier.
No, but he drops the act.
Yeah, exactly. And he says, "Yes, Margot, what is it? What do we need to talk about?"
Who are those goons out there? I thought you were gonna stop dealing with those guys.
These are reputable people, I promise. It is Mr. Tetsudo and Mr. Ming. They say they're from some company called the Rubio Unity. I've never heard of it, but they have easy job. It's good money for those who take it.
You know I'm not gonna take it, right?
Yeah, that's your choice. Good money. Perhaps visit some, well, between you and me, they said, it's on one of the abandoned tracks. Maybe get out there, get the feel for things again, maybe you come back home, maybe you race again.
If I wanted to do that, I would have done that years ago. You realize that, right?
Yes, but there is always time for everything.
Not really. Listen, forget about that right now. As I said in my message, I need your help. As much as it pains me to say, I need your help.
Yeah, and I think he looks interested, but waits for you to continue.
So I know how good you are at disappearing and getting things to disappear. Long story short, my crew and we got in a little bit of trouble with, like, I don't know, the whole government of Paphos. She just kind of like looks at him to see if he recognizes how bad that is.
And I think he kind of like leans back, and you see the gears turning for a moment. Let me see if he does know anything about that. Oh yeah, he knows exactly about that. So he kind of leans back, and you see him. He kind of does you can see him do. He does that thing where you've seen it 100 times. He's evaluating the entire situation, and then he kind of like he looks past you, and we see he's looking at Chan, and he goes, "Oh yes, I understand. Very well. What do they want? I assume that he is no longer a bargaining chip."
No, he is not to know anything that's going on. Listen, basically, they put out a bounty on all of our heads. Well, not mine. Somehow I got past it, but the whole crew, my whole crew, them plus a few others. It's the Claire's group. They've been following us. We've been able to handle it so far, but we really need to get that contract to go away, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and he's following along, and then when you say who it is, I think he's like leaning back in his chair, and he kind of like tilts back a little too far accidentally, and like bolts back up, and he's like, I am terribly sorry, daughter, but did you say that it was the Claris group mercenaries?
Yeah, yep, those are the ones. Do you know them?
And
Gogo's like totally unfazed by this. Like she's not.
yeah, he's like, you did say that this is not on your head, correct? Because putting, well, as I'm sure you can understand, this is a bit high level. Will require a lot of resources to take care of.
What, are you saying you're not good enough?
Oh no, of course I'm good enough, but it is who I will have to work through that need, how do you say, greased palms. You understand? Money comes and goes, you know. It's not cheap. Now, to be fair, there's a big score here that I have. Just waiting for a crew to take it.
Are you seriously saying you're not going to spend the money on your own daughter?
And I think that, like, his face hardens a little bit, and he kind of leans forward and folds his hands in front of him, and he says, well, as far as I know, it is not my daughter that is in danger. It is 4 or 5, however many strangers that I have never met.
Listen, I have never asked you for anything, have I?
He remains silent, I think, but just, like, you know, stares at you.
Right, that's what I thought. So here it is. These are 5 people who are really important to me, and they're in trouble. I'm coming to you as a last resort, but I know that you can help me. If money's an issue, we'll try to find it, but you know what? Maybe this was a bad idea. And she like kind of like starts to get up to leave, like, you know.
Yeah, and I think
scumbag, forget it.
Yeah, he holds up his hands like, wait, listen. I will do what I can, but the Claris group, they are far stronger than even my contacts reach. Outside of Thun, I have very little pull with some of the entities. Yeah, I could find something, do something about it, perhaps, but it all comes down to, well, resources, like I said. I will see what I can do, but without some assistance, some startup, it will be hard for me to accomplish. At least in any given time, but you know I could not say no to you.
Could have fooled me.
And I think he looks at you and he says, Calm now, Margot. When have I ever said no?
She just like turns away from him and she's like, how about that time I asked you to stay? I don't know. 9-year-old me? Do you recall that at all?
I think, yeah, he kind of looks ashamed, and he says, I know that this is not a good answer, and you are not going to love it, but you would not have understood at the time. Me being away during that period of your life was perhaps best for you. Things were not as good as they are now.
Sure, I figured you'd say something like that. Whatever, it doesn't matter at this point anyway. Give me a number, I'll come up with the money. We need it, so.
Yeah.
Kind of like trails off.
Yeah, and I think he
she's
just
like clearly like doesn't want to be in his presence anymore. She's just kind of over it.
Yeah, I think he just waves a hand and he says, "It's nothing. We'll find the crew to take this job. This will easily pay for it. You and your friends can be on your way, but stay safe. Cannot, well, perhaps it will be done sooner rather than later. All depends."
Yeah, I understand. Thank you, I guess. And she just like gets up and leaves.
Okay. Yeah, and you go out the door and we see him like sitting there and he's like he's got a pencil in his hand now and he's kind of like rolling it around on his fingers and tapping the desk. And after a few minutes, or Gogo, you walk out. You see like Dr. Fisher and Chan are like sitting at that booth, just kind of like staring around.
We can go. Are you ready?
Yeah, I think Chan stands up like a little too fast, and like kind of rocks the table, like maybe dumps like a salt shaker onto you, Dr. Fisher.
God damn it! I just had this dry cleaned.
In space.
So yeah,
I don't think I can't do my own dry cleaning in space.
You, Dr. Phil, of course you can.
I mean, he has a whole lab to work with. I'm sure he could rig something up.
something.
Yeah, he
to
just
get rid of.
runs the autoclave on a very special cycle.
Yeah.
Low and slow.
It's the delicate cycle.
Absolutely. So the two of you leave, or
Go snags a drink on her way out, though.
three of you technically. You roll out now. I assume you go to one of those chain pet stores, right? Chan probably like mentions like offhandedly, but kind of like in his trailing off kind of way. He's like, yeah, I still need to help Stanley. If it's not too much trouble, I'm sure that he would be fine. Without the things, but
yeah, sure, Chan. Yeah, hold on, just let me. And she like pulls out her compad and is trying to like basically Spoogle Maps the closest one.
Right.
Because Gogo's never been to a pet store, even though she lives here.
Yeah, absolutely. And you find one, and I think there's a little montage scene of like the group of you, like, you know, going through the aisles and like Chan's like picking things out and like reading the labels, and you know, Gogo's brooding in the corner, and Dr. Fisher's like, you know, maybe just looking around aimlessly.
Maybe picking up some mice.
Yeah, maybe that's what you're doing. Maybe you pick up some new lab rats, Dr. Fisher.
Yeah, I'm now stocking up on live animals.
Yeah, absolutely. So now.
Is this all you have? Just 30? That's it?
You don't have any more than 30?
No more? None in the back or anything?
Yeah.
So I'll set up a breeding colony.
Well, yeah, remember that's what we were talking about last week. Yeah. Is Gogo fed all of the rats.
Yeah, somebody just destroyed my entire colony, so now I have to recreate it from scratch.
True story. So, without much more difficulty, the three of you are able to make it back to the. Well, actually, four of you, because I forgot Oha was actually with you guys. I did forget about that for a moment. The four of you are able to make it back to the ship without too much difficulty and return and reunite with the rest of your crew. So that being said, what's the plan here? Do we give like an accounting of all the things that happened, and then get ready to move on to the next phase of whatever we're gonna do today?
I mean, the only other thing I would have done is made sure that Felix had all of the pertinent information that we had, to
Yeah.
help him out.
Yeah.
I'll get back when I got back at some point, but yeah.
And I mean, do you have solid information or just what you were told?
Well, I know that some of it was shared with me from
Yeah. Like
Fortune, right?
there were briefings and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, like we had a whole meeting about it. So what I thought was relevant, I would give to him.
Okay.
Would you let anybody else know that someone else is working on getting rid of the contract?
I think she did when she left, but yeah, what's the scene like when you get back?
I don't recall ever.
Well, I think I talked to only you, Fortune, about it, because everybody else was not on the ship. It was just you and I think, if I recall correctly. Remember how I just said, "Oh, I think I might be able to help with that."
Yeah, and then you left. I think that was all that you said.
It was basically just that, yeah.
So I didn't know if that meant you were going to talk to someone then or what.
Yeah, so I guess no, you wouldn't know.
No.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I probably, when I would come to you asking for some of those documents, like maybe I'd probably just deleted them, because that's what GoGo would do. She'd come to you and she'd be like, remember those documents that you shared with us? Do you think I could get a copy of those again? The ones about, I don't know, your bounty and whatever.
But why?
Oh, I found a guy. He's going to help us out.
What? A guy? You just found a guy? I work for Claris and I can't do any of this. You just found a guy?
Well, he's not just a guy. He's kind of my dad. Yeah, he's kind of good at this sort of thing. Making stuff disappear. He said he could do it. He just needs some time and some money. So, yeah, it's fine. But he does need those documents. So if you could just get those.
I probably start like rifling through fake paperwork on my compad or something. I'm like, what? Who's giving him the money?
He said he has some job. He like I said, don't worry, he'll handle it. He's good at this kind of thing, unfortunately.
What kind of job? We need to get paid too.
Listen, you really don't want to do this sort of job. It's not. Gogo kind of trails off like, crap, I shouldn't have said that.
I probably go, if you mean not legal, we've already done a lot of not technically legal jobs.
No, it's not that. It's just he kind of has some specialized work. It's kind of, well, to say it's dangerous is kind of stupid at this point, but it is dangerous. And getting involved, can I just, if I could just have that paperwork, I'll be out of your hair in like 2 seconds, Fortune. Just 2 seconds, and I will be.
All right, I send it.
She's like kind of sweating a little bit.
I send her this stuff via Speemail or whatever.
Yeah, via instant messaging.
Yeah.
Great, thanks.
Via
okay.
AOL Instant Messenger.
Yeah, it's at a resurgence.
Okay, yeah. Yep.
God help us all.
It was the first true AI.
Good one.
Oh boy.
Yeah, all right, well, yeah, thanks. So we should probably be on our way. We got that liquor to drop off.
Also, GoGo, next time, if there's work to be done, can there be a discussion about whether we take it or not? Because we do have to pay for this beautiful ship we're flying.
Yeah, and I think for the first time, Gogo gets really serious, and she goes, Fortune, literally any other job, it just can't be connected with my dad, okay?
Oh, okay, no problem.
Thank you. And she just leaves.
Okay. So, is it like you guys gonna take off tonight because it is like nighttime? Or are you gonna stay for the day and then take off? How's that gonna work?
Typically, I've done everything I need to do here.
Yeah, I think typically you guys are the
out of character. What is next on our list? What have we
Drop-
decided?
Drop off some alcohol.
Okay,
Yes.
so we have one more like courier mission to take care of, and then we're free to pursue our own interests again.
The only other option is
well, we have a free month right now. We have until October 1st because we didn't pay any money for September 1st.
And you had the money. Yeah. You have till
And we
October
had the
1st. Yeah.
Yeah, until we have to pay anything. So we've got almost 3 weeks to just kind of do whatever we want.
the other option is we could stay and watch some racing, maybe make some money that way.
Watching
Maybe lose a lot of money that
racing
way.
is not necessarily what Oscar wants to happen, but okay, so we have a clear destination at least for the next maybe week or so, and or is that in system also? We have to make some travel to get there, right?
It's just one jump, yeah.
Yeah, one
For the
jump.
liquor, yeah.
So 2.5 days, and then maybe find something there that's on the way to somewhere we want to go.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I think it would be very reasonable that we've already, discussed all of this, and even if we hadn't, I think Gogo would probably just take it into her own hands to go there whenever she felt like it, or didn't. If Gogo decides she just wants to not mention it and stay here and watch some racing, I think it would take a little while till we all noticed that she had just decided she's taking a personal vacation, So I guess Gogo, how does that play out?
God, seeing that and being in that race for a brief moment, kind of got that itch back. So I think that at the very least, she probably, after that conversation with Fortune, she probably would have disappeared for a little bit.
Was a little bit a day or two, or is a little
Yeah, so it's like
an afternoon?
I would say at least a day or two, possibly more or possibly less, depending on if anybody, messaged her or had other pressing matters.
Gogo, were you traditionally a night racer or a day racer?
Night racer.
Yeah. So this would be like prime starting time, like right by the time everything is getting available.
Like the evening of.
Yeah.
When after all this happens, you take off, and do you say anything to anybody, or do you just like wander off into the night?
In the night, coldest story ever told.
I would have no reason to hide it. So I mean,
yeah. But I mean, do you?
I would guess
previously invited people along,
right?
And that's, I guess, what I'm asking. Not if you're being shady about it, but if you like announce.
I would probably say I would send out a message saying, which is very unlikely for Gogo to send messages and not just receive them and ignore them. But she'd send a crew-wide message that just has basically what would it be? It'd be like a flyer, I guess, for the upcoming races that night.
Do you send like a message to Chan, but then attach everyone accidentally on purpose? Like,
sure.
I'm just asking, like, do you make it look like you didn't mean for it to go to everybody, but also trying to let everybody know like there's gonna be cool stuff happening?
Okay, so I obviously clicked the like send to all thing, but in the actual message it says, Chan, look at this, would you want like, so it was like the message was just written to Chan.
Yeah, totally.
There you go.
Yeah, so everybody's compad lights up with this message.
It said, Chan, look at this, isn't this cool? Are you interested? I'm leaving at whatever time. And then it just like has the flyer.
Yeah, and of course Chan hits reply all, and in all caps, it's like, yes, that would be wonderful. Stanley will be fine by then. I would love to attend you.
Random emojis.
Yeah, sleepy guy face.
Yeah. I probably would not respond. I'd probably like facepalm Oh my god, we're gonna be here for weeks.
Maybe. Yeah, so I guess flash cut to Gogo waiting by the like exit of the ship at about the time that she said Shin was and her were going to leave.
Yeah,
and she kind of like is like doing that thing where she's like looking around, like not really hoping that somebody else shows up, but like kind of hoping that people show up. Obviously.
Yeah, I think Oscar would be able to separate himself from his new toy long enough to see what's up with these things.
Would you though, or would you just bring it with you?
No, he wouldn't bring it with him because he's not going to wear his power armor, and he would be too scared to like, when you get a new phone and you're super protective of it for like a month?
Yeah.
It would be sort of like that. He wouldn't want it to get like
you're debating between being accessible but also not wanting to bring it anywhere.
He wouldn't want anything to happen to it, and I don't think he could actually use it for anything in this particular situation. But yeah, he would show up. He would show up.